back? What's holding you back from being this person that you want to be?
Well, I don't know. I don't. I don't know. Okay, I don't know where to start for one, and I don't even know if I'm. Smart people will consider the source. I would consider the source if I'm listening to somebody give me advice, and don't. I'm not sure if I've become enough of a source yet. I don't know if I have enough experience to. I mean, like I feel like I have plenty experience to teach people how to sell. But I don't know if
Hey,
I don't know where. I don't even know where to start if I wanted to be like a speaker, but I wouldn't. I don't. You know, I don't know how much of a source you have to be, but at the same time, I don't even know if I'm there yet. If that makes sense.
but you are. But you are. Put your hand over your heart like this. You feel it?
Yeah,
What is that? Really? What is that?
my heartbeat.
Yeah. It's greatness, man. It's greatness inside you.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to show it off. You have it inside you. Everything, every tool that you need is inside you. The words that you read in the Bible, you have to truly believe it. Because God has a lot in store for you. And
yeah.
what you're getting a taste of right now is just a peak, man. There's greatness inside you. You got to let that seed that's been planted in there grow. You got to keep watering it. And like I said, all you have to do is like just the simple things. And that's where it starts. And God will provide the rest of the answer for you. It's just the little things, just building each
Yeah,
other up. That's the start. That's where you start.
that's what I was telling my fiance the other day because there's been a lot of things that we've been trying to get done, and every day we're just trying to do the best we can, and we're both pretty grateful, I would say. And some things it's like, all right, we're looking, we're man, about that, and it canceled you, and I was like, no.
The conversation. No. We're back though. They tried to
That's my
stop
luck,
us
man.
from preaching the truth out here. But not today. Not today.
Right.
Not today.
Yeah, man. I love talking about this stuff. I just I love it, man. I don't really get a lot of people to be able to conversate with at all. I feel like I get too deep fast, and I can lose people quick. Like you can see their eyes start to glaze, and not you, but I'm saying just the random people that I talk to, my friends. Like not everybody likes to get that deep, man. But I just feel like I'm constantly looking at a really awesome picture,
Oh yeah.
and like it's like getting excited and being like, dude, look, like look at that. You know what I mean? And I just try to do as much as I can. Like I'm always excited, and I'm pointing things out for everybody all the time, and people do that for me too. So it's like I don't know how to. It's like a big giant painting, but I haven't even seen the whole picture yet. But the more I see, the more excited I get because it's
Oh yeah.
gorgeous.
You get that
You
sneak
know?
peek, that sneak peek at what's going to happen in your life, and before you know it, you start seeing like he's pulling the curtain more out. And you're like, hey,
Yeah,
I like how this
yeah,
is looking.
yeah. It's but like I mean, so much more of like um, just looking at the world as a whole, man. I used to look at like, don't get me wrong, there's some bad stuff going on, but at the same time, like I think this is a big, beautiful,
Yeah, the good.
awesome.
I'm kind of getting ahead
You
of
know,
myself, but Think about it like this. If there wasn't bad stuff in the world, would we need God? Would we turn to God? Would we really appreciate the world as it is still?
Yeah, but I don't even think we still appreciate it like we should, man.
And the
You know,
reason why,
we like,
well, the reason why there is bad stuff in the world is because why? Because God gave us what? He gave us free will.
well, yeah,
He gave us all free will to make our own decisions. And we live in a corrupt world.
yeah.
And that's why, Jesus said he was preparing us a better place. You
But didn't he
know?
say it was here too? Didn't he said it was here, right? At one point.
Yeah. He told us that.
So
It goes back to what I was saying though. Like everything that you speak though, you speak into existence. You're planting your seeds everywhere you go. Even like when you said you were preaching to your friends and you start getting deep to them, and they're not like really about it, but it's that you're getting that word out to them and you're planting your seed into them. It's not going to grow right away, but eventually, 5 years from now or whenever, that seed's going to take place, and they're going to look back to you and be like, "Hey, he's right, man. We should have been listening to him all along. This is what he was talking about."
yeah,
It takes time.
yeah. But like, okay, so like when Adam and Eve ate um the apple, right? Is when we got disconnected. Like it was heaven on earth basically right before that happened, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then they became once they once they ate the apple, they became conscious that they were naked and everything, right? So to me that sounds like we were animals at first and then we became conscious and we became more than just animals. So before we became conscious and we were animals, there was a system in play of life on the planet where everything was working mechanically like it was supposed to, and whatever we were supposed to be doing, we were doing without any type of thought. That means that we were ultimately connected to the earth more because we were part of the whole system for all of the life that surrounded us in whatever ecosystem we were. And when we became conscious, we were basically kicked out of it, right? Out of the heaven on earth, and we've been trying to get back ever since. And what if when consciousness came, like the biggest reason, like the reason why we have a hard time getting back all together and like resuming the point where it's like it feels like heaven on earth is because
Ego.
we just forgot, yeah, our ego, because we think we're the biggest thing here. Like when you look at the road, you look at like a flat surface, but I mean, to me we're just walking on something skin, man.
That's why I said
So
it's ego, man. That's why God.
yeah.
That's why He told us that we have to deny ourselves first to follow Him. Because really, that's what it is. Ego is building, edging God out. Because
Right.
especially you get to that point, like, okay, think about this too. Good thing that's stuff starts going your way in life. Do you turn to God right away, or do you say I got this on my own? Got to think about it.
Well, I don't,
The answer,
man. I have a really hard time.
the
I have a hard time. I have a really hard time like talking about or visualizing God as a he or a she. And I think it's just, um, I don't know, man. So I have like, don't get me wrong. There's times where talking out loud to it, but I just don't. Like, I think visualizing and talking about God as like a he or a she automatically makes us give it like a human type of form or pattern of behavior, and I think it's egotistical to for us to, it's not, it's I don't know how, I wish I could like explain how I see it, because there's not, it's he and she at the same time, but it's not really like it's not like a being. it it's everything. So yeah, I'm turning to God all the time because everything I try to do is for the best for it, which is the system, not for me, for just the system of life itself and what I can control in it. I talk out, when I pray, it's not like I think prayer is more than just sitting down. I think it's, and like doing traditionally, I think it's the things you do. I think it's it's the way you talk to people. Like, I think there's no no better way to communicate or serve or or pray than to be exactly the best version of what you're supposed to be for the system itself, if that makes sense.
Amen.
I don't I like I I'm happy for somebody like Jesus to have existed, because it was the perfect example, like the perfect archetype of exactly how to walk. Like, can you imagine if everybody walked like that? This place would be glowing. It probably would be like the Avatar for real. You know what I mean? But there's a we're just we're just plugged into a really big system for us, but it's really, we're just a smaller moving part of a giant expanding like system. Like, think about like our body. Like, yeah, we're in its image, because if you were to zoom all the way into your body and give one of your cells in your body consciousness for a day, like, your body would look like a galaxy to it, and there would be a whole bunch of systems at play everywhere, all over the place, and it would be the same thing as us being, you know, on our giant planet and all the systems that are at play there. Or if we wanted to look at the
Look,
galaxy or
hold
the
on, like
universe.
what you're tapping into right now, though, that was the gift of sex. That's the male and the female. That's the gift, because we're made in like image of God, and that
Right,
life inside of us gets put inside of her, and it brings more life into the world, and that's
right,
God's
yeah,
greatest gift inside of us. That tells you right there. There's another bull right there
yeah,
that
yeah,
He's inside of us. That
yeah,
power,
man.
the
We're
same
just,
power,
yeah, right, exactly.
the
You
same
know,
power.
yeah, because we're we're like the only species on the planet that can deviate from its animalistic, like, it's like we have patterns of behavior written in our DNA, but because of consciousness, we could go right, even though we're supposed to go left. But like, when you see a squirrel, it's got also a pattern of behavior mapped out in its DNA, and you don't see it do dog stuff. You see it do the same thing all the time. And that's awesome that we are like, it's just awesome to be born, you know, this species, and to be able to witness everything firsthand, man. I think once you grasp what an awesome gift that is, it makes it easier to be grateful, because like the alternative is not being here to witness anything, to make any memories, to love, to be hurt, to grow, to whatever. Like, the only alternative is not ever getting the experience. So we should be enjoying it and making the most out of it in the best way possible, and which is taking care of the system we're part of, man.
And that's
Like, we
what,
have to all be connected.
yeah, we are all connected. Our spirits are all connected. That was what the whole reason Jesus came down here, because he wanted us, once once we were called home, for our spirits to reconnect to the Father, because
Right.
we came from the Father. He breathes life into us, and all of everything that's around us, and that's our spirit alone is from him. So when it comes to the end, he wants us to go back home to the Father, to be reconnected to God, because our spirits are all connected. A lot of people miss that message.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's kind of deep, and you got to think about
No, no.
it.
No, I appreciate it. I'm trying to, like, I get it, I just think that I think that if we're gonna give appreciation to the father, you have to acknowledge the mother too. Like Adam, which and all of us and Jesus, just they weren't. And maybe it's one thing, like it's a unisex thing where it can be man, like it can be the male or like the chaotic or the order, depending on what situation it is. But I just, man, you gotta, if we're gonna give praise to the father, we gotta give praise to the mother, because the son, no son has ever in human existence ever existed without a mother.
But also,
Ever. Not even.
here's another thing that we miss out on: that God is both the Father and the Mother.
Yes, but if we're gonna call it the father, I don't know, we gotta call it something that's both, man.
But no, that's where I'm going to get at. Is we're so used to being taught that he's the Father, but because see, if you were to say he's the mother or she's the mother, everybody gets blown out of proportion. He did that for a reason. He did
Yeah.
that for
Well,
a
I think,
reason. So we,
like,
because our understanding is nowhere near his understanding. So he made it simple for us so that we could, be able to understand it more clear. But sometimes we get to that point, like you said, the mother, the father, and then you're like, oh, I don't know how to look at it, man.
yeah, it's like like Jordan Peterson explained why we would reference God as a father is because it's the judgmental future. Because everything you do and say now, there really is a judgment. It's like some people call that karma or whatever, but it's like there's a point in time where there's a judgment for some action before that, whether it's good or bad, or like it's father like, because the dad is kind of like the structure. When you mess up, he'll correct you. So at least if I'm understanding it correctly, like it's the judgmental future of everything you're doing, and your consequences are obviously based on like your actions and your intentions and all that. It's like father like, that's kind of the role of the father, which I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding it right, but I just like I said, dude, I think I don't know, man. Like you can't I don't know, like I just don't I just don't think there's enough appreciation. Like, yes, there was like life, something where life is breathed into everything, but um like, and we can appreciate whatever that is that came from, but we also have to appreciate um like where the vessel that we're using, came from too. It's like I don't know how to. I don't, man. I wish I never really know how to explain it properly, but like it's. I think that there's. I think the equation is incomplete if you don't like. If we're gonna say that God is the Father and it's male and female, it's not. It's like it's not really one or the other. Then, um, there's a reason why we're gonna be disconnected if we're only calling it the Father all the time because it's mother too in aspects. It just depends on what side you're on. So it has to be both. So, and even in the household, respect you can't just respect and appreciate dad if you're not going to you got to respect and appreciate mom too. She made you for the most part, and like, I think that there's like a father and then that pattern, like you said, there's always has to be male and female to make life, right? And I don't know, man, like I feel like the way the sun and the earth, the relationship between them is almost like father and mother in a way because the sun is God. It gives us the light and the heat and the gravitational pull, but the earth takes all the rest, all the life that's on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's not like I'm saying, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what the solution is. I just like there's every story that's ever been made. Father could never make the son without mother. So he's telling us that she's equal in the creation of life too. So if we're going to appreciate the father aspects of life, we should be appreciating the mother too. And maybe because we've been spent so much time wrestling with and trying to please the father, it's like we neglected and or hurt mom sometimes.
Yep. And then it just goes all the way back to the spirit of gratitude and just really appreciating everything that's around you. Because then you want to get more into it, just to answer your question that was going on. Now we got to go back to Genesis.
Yeah.
Because the earth is what? It's called Mother Earth. And God gave what to the earth? Everything.
Yeah.
He gave birth.
Yeah, and it was actually the first thing made. I mean, for us.
And
just because we were the last thing made doesn't mean we're the most special, man. We're a very special part of a really big puzzle, I think.
And and then that's where it starts. Let's think about that. God made us from the mud, the dirt of the earth. And that's where we came from.
Right.
And then the woman came from our rib, the male, because God knew that we couldn't be alone, that we needed a partner. We needed a partner in life.
Right.
And everybody seems to miss that in Genesis, that beginning right there. The answer that you're looking for is in Genesis, right there. It's all in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I just mean like generally we all, I feel like collectively,
a lot of people
lose sight of that.
Wouldn't understand it because, like I said, they missed the message in Genesis. They miss how it all started.
Right.
How it all, and then it becomes just how you're brought up and how the world like is corrupted. It doesn't want you to know that. It doesn't want you to even think that. It tries everything to do to get you away from that, to be disconnected from the Father.
Yeah. I mean, I think us people do that. I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. It's because
like society.
Because God gave us free will. God gave us free will.
Yeah. But what okay. If we were made in its image and everything he makes is good, or it makes us good, whatever, everything created in it is good, then like why does free will become so corrupt? Why does free will make you corrupt? Like there has to have been huge elements of fear involved somewhere that
Because ego.
scared us.
Because that's where it starts at. Because then we start thinking that we don't really need, you know, his thoughts. We don't need to be following what he wants us to do, but instead we make up our own decisions to do what we want to do. And that's where it happens. That's where everything gets so undivided. And it just goes downhill from
You know,
there because of that
that
choice.
makes me wonder how. Like how do you make that decision? Like what happens that makes you decide that you don't need that anymore? Because if it so far up until this point where you deviate, everything's been working perfectly. So what happened that would make you deviate like that? For what? Especially if it doesn't reward you the same way. Like I don't like it's yeah, we got free will, but like what made us go from loving creatures of everything to there had to have been a situation, something happened.
The apple.
Yeah, but I mean, like, doesn't I mean, what do you do? I mean, what? It's like a magical apple. What happened when they bit it? Did they?
The apple opened our eyes to what was really going on around us. God had us to the point where it was just where we seen the good and everything. That we're following what He was telling us all the way. But the second we took a bite out of that apple, that's when reality came to life. And that it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then we could see stuff differently. We didn't see it like how God saw it anymore. We were seeing stuff from our own point of view and making up our own. That's when the conscious and everything came into play. We started making our own decisions of what we, do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that like I feel like something really scary kickstarted that. I don't think it's just enough. I don't know. See, like something. I mean, maybe the apple is a metaphor for something would had to have scared us off course. Like if we were made good, then we wouldn't have just willingly deviated. Oh my goodness. And wait a minute, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Something had to have, because I believe all people are good and they're not just gonna automatic. We already know that in society too. Like very rare that somebody just automatically bad. Something happens to them to make them deviate from the path. And then they subconsciously cry out hardcore for correction until they're corrected. So, like, it can't be just enough that we ate. We like an apple. Like, what happened when we ate it? What did we see? What made us so scared that we forgot everything that we were a part of, and made us feel like we can do everything on our own? Like, I, I, how can we be built so good, and then the minute we get the keys to the car, we go off road? That doesn't make sense to me, because unless we were scared super bad by something, or like I always pictured, like maybe it was like maybe like a group of people in this tribe were hunting, and maybe they got attacked by a predator, and maybe the rest of the crew left the one that got attacked for dead, but somehow he survived and came back, and maybe that made him feel like alone because he was just left, and then maybe that made him start questioning things and started creating fears for no reason. And then that's like a virus. You start questioning people's, why they do things, and you make them question it. It might hold them up and screw them up. And then now you went from one person who probably was scared to death to like everybody being scared. And I could see how that could create currency, because you know, like you have people doing everything they're supposed to be doing because that's what they were built to do. You got the carpenter and the doctor and the farmer and whatever, whatever, whatever. You stick that kind of virus into that type of crew. Now they're not just doing it because they were built to. They're scared, and when you're scared, you get scared of everything, losing things and everything. So now you're not just. It's like, or maybe it was the flood. That wiped everything out. There had to have been something that scared us so bad that we accidentally deviated. There has to be, like, it can't just be just because we noticed we were naked and stuff. There had to be some type of, maybe there was a real situation with the snake that really, scared us to death because those things hide and you don't know where they're going to be ever. And you have to create some type of, if that's the biggest predator we have at the time that could take us out like that, you have to start figuring out how to survive away from those things. And you got to watch out where it might be. You know what I mean? And I don't know,
Well,
man, but something had to have.
I heard it like this, and a lot of people, I mean, this is kind of going off a little bit, but the snake, this whatever you want to call it, is what really where it all started. And that wasn't Satan himself, but his wife. And he was able to talk to Eve and kind of like get into her head a little bit and say, "Hey, try this out. This is good stuff." And she was like, "Okay," because she hadn't been around that long yet, and she was like, "All right, let's try it." And then from that. But we will truly never know, I mean, the answer to that because, nobody was there. I mean, even it's written, but we will never truly know the true answer until we go back home. We won't know the correct answer to that. I can't tell you that. Anybody out
Yeah,
here
right.
that knows the Bible from front to back, they can't tell you that. There's only one, that can tell you that
Yeah.
answer.
I know. I've tried to talk to like priests and
Yeah,
pastors, and sometimes like,
nobody's gonna have the correct answer for that.
yeah, I
Especially
feel
the answer,
bad because I overwhelm them.
yeah, especially especially the answer that you're looking for is there's only one that can answer that one.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna try to sit here and try to answer it for you because I
No,
don't.
I like
I'm
talking
not on
about it though.
that.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. You know, you know, I get it. It's a lot to think about sometimes, man. It can be overwhelming too.
Oh yeah. But the best thing is to not really. I mean, you can think about that stuff, but not. Don't get too caught up in it because it'll make you go. You'll lose. You'll be thinking about it too much. You'll be like, oh, I don't know if this is for me, man. This is,
I do.
and that's what happens. A lot of people turn away because of that reason, because they're thinking about too much stuff, and that you get pulled away, and you just lose interest because of that reason, because you're like, I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just heavy sometimes. But, um, to
But
just kind of circle back and get back to like being grateful and then even to like touch on maybe a little bit of like the beginning when I was talking about like my childhood and stuff. Like,
yeah, before we had church session over here. Okay,
yeah,
we
which
covered we covered your childhood. Let's kind of go back to talk about your school experience. How was that? Going in.
oh, so yeah. So it was cool, man, because I mean it sucked because I constantly was moving, so I had to be the new guy like all the time. But um like every school I went to, it was like I was hanging out with a different group. Like completely different group, man. Every school. And you know, I learned how to make friends quick. I had to, which was it's a cool quality I, learned growing up. But the cool thing about hanging out with like every different type of group really was. I learned really quick that like everybody's the same. We just have like we're all seeds to the same tree. We just have different interests and we come from different soil and different environments. But so it was easy to. It's really easy to connect with anybody. I feel like for the most part, um, because like I said, it was like we're this we're still people. It's weird, but they just might like different music or our clothes, but we still laugh, we still try to have fun, we still have family, we still have our ups and downs. Like it was cool to I'm really grateful that I got to go to all these different schools and have all these different experiences, no matter how unstable it really was, because it helped me a lot since I've been an adult because like I said, it's not really hard for me to make a friend.
Because you
Um,
developed it at a young age. You're able to experience that, and
yeah, yeah, and I think, and it was totally different environments. Like the coolest thing about living in Vegas for a little while is I learned to play the violin for a while, which was cool. I mean, I don't know how anymore, but I did pretty well when I did. But it was like crazy different environments, man, because like by the time I was in high school, I was in this small town in California. I kind of actually grew up in that small town. Like I did elementary and then moved away. Came back, did junior high in the same district, then moved away. And then came back and did high school. And I did that also in Ashtabula while having Vegas and PA somewhere in the mix. But like by the time I like going from high school to from California to where I was at in Ohio, though, dude, it was like going from Disney Channel to Oz. No joke, man. It was, and I'm just like this little dude, man. Um, it was cool, but I used to get like I got bullied at home all the time. I got beat up all the time, and then when I was like, that's the mentality I had. So it was easy for other people to mess with me. Not to mention because I was little, and it was just like a common thing. But by the time I got to my last school in Ashtabula, I was like half the size of everybody. And I've been bullied a lot. I fought some bullies. Um, but I was just sick of it. But like people would mess with me. But like I realized at that time people don't like bullies. So and if somebody was to really like beat me up, like you look like a bully. I'm half your size, dude. So I don't see the loss there. And then if somehow I was actually able to get the upper hand, that's really bad for you. So I'm not really losing here. So I kind of just took like a little brother approach kind of to everybody and would just talk a bunch of crap to them back and then run and just kind of laugh about it. And then I had my hip rebuilt uh, like early when I want to say maybe like 11th grade maybe. And I came back taller. My voice was deeper. And everybody was coming up to me like, dude, I got a lot of respect for you because you were a little guy, but you talked a lot of crap, dude. And I was like, like if you only knew, I just how I had it figured out. It was easy for me, you know what I mean? Because I knew nothing was gonna happen really at that point. But it was cool, man.
now how little are we talking about?
I was like 4'11", maybe 5 foot at most, like 120 pounds soaking wet.
You were taller than me. Going in my
All
freshman,
right.
yeah, my freshman year, I think I was only like 4'6", 4'7".
Yeah, I was probably that short around then, but I was the same height until like almost 11th grade when I got my hip rebuilt.
Then once I got to like the 11th junior year, senior year, I was probably about 5'3", 5'5", somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think my mom had him give me a hormone shot because I shot up. in the time I was out of school. But I had this metal plate that was like restricting my growth, I think. And once they cut it out and replaced it, maybe that helped. I don't know. But
Imagine playing football though, being that I did that my freshman year. Yeah, I played in
yeah,
junior high too, but those pads, man, you put them pads on.
yeah,
You went from being four
like
six to
little
4'4".
giants.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen a picture not too long ago, probably about a year ago, of me standing next to like the tallest dude, and it looked like he was
Yeah,
like this giant compared to me. You just see me with these pads on, helmet on, looking like, who is this guy?
right. That's sweet though. Yeah, I never got to play. What position? How long did you play? Just ninth grade or what?
I played I played junior high, I played, freshman year. Then I transferred and then I played my junior year, but then came senior year I was done. But my
Yeah.
positions I was like the slot receiver, like the West Walker.
Oh,
I
nice.
was the inside guy. And then
That's sweet.
being that I was short and quick, they put me as the nose tackle. They put me on
Oh, okay.
the D line. So I was able to like bear crawl through the guys
Hmm.
and get to like whoever was the fastest quarterback or whatever. It was
That's
pretty
sweet.
fun though, because I would do that. I would like cannonball myself through the line because it was before they got up. I was already through them because I
Yeah.
being a short guy, and then I was able to just
Yeah.
jump on the quarterback. And that was it.
Sweet. That's smart on the coach's part to use like speed like that on the line. My little brother he played football and he was probably like 5'9" and a buck 65, and he was nose guard and D tackle, but he hit like a Mack truck for his size, and he was so fun to watch. Oh my god, I would sit like right on the like right there on the rail and record every play that he played. Man, it was cool.
I
He was
loved it
really
though.
good.
Like when my coach first told me, because I started off playing like DB, and then he
Hmm.
was like, "Here, we're gonna switch you and put you on the D line." I'm like, "What? Are you crazy? They're gonna
Yeah,
they're,
right.
they're gonna smash me, man. They're gonna destroy me." But he's like,
Yeah,
"No, no, you got this. You know what you're doing." So when we would have
yeah,
like scout team and stuff, I'd go out there and practice being on the line. And before you know it, I was fucking I was amazing at it. Excuse my language, but I ended up being
no,
amazing
no, you're good.
amazing at it because like
Yeah, oh, I can
once I
imagine.
realized how to play it and how to get the strategy of it all and how to get through them, I was like, dude, I could do this. Especially when they got
Yeah.
like a fast quarterback, I'm gonna get to him real quick.
Oh yeah, and like give me the biggest lineman you got because I'm gonna be way quicker than him anyway. So
They
yeah,
always
I feel
they would always try to double team me. That was the
yeah,
biggest part. Is like I'm just thinking about it now, just being this guy that at the time was 4'6", and probably in pads I was like 4 foot because they were weighing me down. But I could imagine just
yeah,
seeing this little guy going out onto the field and the
yeah.
people just being in the stand and seeing this little dude go out and just run through the
Oh my god.
lines and tackle the quarterbacks. The coolest part
Yeah.
though,
Oh
the coolest part was just the support behind it. Afterwards, hearing people saying they were looking up to me, or in this case, looking down to me, it was like I would just tell them like, man, if I can do it, you can do it. Get out there.
yeah. No, that's sweet, man. I can imagine. Can you imagine being like the parent of the quarterback and see this little body tackle your boy?
Yes.
Like, where did he come from? Yeah.
Yeah. No, man, I could still remember seeing some quarterbacks' faces like want to get through that line, and they'd be like,
Mhm.
like exactly like you said, where did he come from? Where did
Yeah.
like before they could
Yeah.
even like really get the ball, like get like a grip on it. I was behind. I
Yeah.
was already through the line coming at him. Like, how did he get through so quick? And the coach is yelling,
That's sweet.
"Block him! Block him!"
Yeah. That's sweet, dude.
It was
That's
good.
cool, man.
I, I loved playing sports throughout high school because it just really helped me grow as a person and just that brotherhood. Forever having that. Even now, I still
Yeah.
see those guys I played ball with, and it's just like it was just yesterday. We was practicing playing together. But I'm not one of those
Hmm.
guys that got stuck in that where I'm like, oh, High
Yeah,
school
yeah,
glory. I moved on. I moved
yeah.
on.
No doubt.
And anybody that's watching, I'm just saying, move on.
Yeah, man. Especially if like they're in school, just have fun, dude. Like when my little brother, he came back to live with us. I had graduated, and he was like, "Oh man, it was a mess when he came back." But like I was telling him, dude, you need to make the most out of school and have fun, man. What like and the best way to have fun is to play. Like you're a big dude, play football, man. Like you'll have a bunch of like healthy friendships. You'll be kind of popular, so you'll have fun. You know what I mean? And like just make the most of it. And like we were struggling, and he was just like, "I got to get a job." Like, no, dude. Like your job is like grades and football, man. Like if you need it, I got it. And me and my mom worked really hard, uh, you know, helping provide him with everything he needed. So it was even much more to watch him out there killing it because you know, I just knew he had nothing, and he really took it and ran with it. He didn't just quit. You know, he made the most of it all the way until he graduated. It was that was a real special time. I think back we were really tight back then. Um, we were going through it a lot with my mom. It was just like because like me and my brother especially like we grew up with our dad a lot, and like we were trained that like when you messed up, you got like the crap beat out of you like a grown man. Well, I did at least. I kind of just gave it to my little brother, to be honest. But that's how we were raised. So when we showed up at my mom's house and she would try to discipline us, it was just like, you can't whoop me. I'm not grounded. So we were little assholes for real. But
I think,
like,
I think really, in our defense, we all are at that age.
yeah, and oh my god, like the debris that was left from just the tornado that my dad was as a whole. Um, It was just like, dude, we were just a whole bunch of broken people trying to figure things out. We were all hurt. We couldn't figure out. We wanted to be together and be a family, but at the same time, we just couldn't figure out how because we were all so scarred. It felt like, but
If anybody's wondering, it's water. It's just water. No kidding ideas. It's just water.
man, yeah, that was a crazy time, man. But me and my mom, we've been through a lot, man. We used to, I don't know, like I used to be definitely just kind of I was definitely just not I was a dick sometimes, man. A lot of times actually.
Yes,
But
we
I really
all are.
calmed down after a while, and I remember like after I had my son, like I got a small glimpse of what it's like struggling as a parent, but I it just gave me like perspective on everything and especially like I remember listening to Tupac's Dear Mama and like that's me and my mom for sure. And I remember crying like a baby and then showing up at her house like, I am so sorry. I swear to God, for the rest of my life, I will never do anything but say I love you forever. I will never, ever, ever go out of my way to insult you. I'll never hurt you. I appreciate you. And, we still went through our ups and downs for a long time, man. But I love my mom to death. Like, shit, shoot. 7 years ago or so, maybe 4, 5, 6 years ago, like I felt like I was okay with probably never seeing her again. And now, like, I love my mom. And it's so cool to see where we've become from how far away we were. Like, and like the rest of the family slowly still getting into the fold, you know.
Hold on. Pause. Pause.
Okay.
Let's just talk about our mom for a minute. And just take this moment right now as we're talking about our mom. I just want to say, Mom, if you're watching or listening, I love you. All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
facts. Yeah. My mom is my mom worked her ass off. She did everything she could to try to keep the family safe and provided for. I saw her work 2 and 3 jobs a lot. And I don't care if the normal standard of what a person should be, if there's a general definition of a perfect mom, like I don't care what that definition is. Like mine was for dude, I wish my brother and sister would really, really, really appreciate the sacrifices that she made. She's just such a sweet lady. She'll give you the shirt off of her back. Like she's always, she's had the worst family. She had the worst husband and father to her kids she could have ever asked for, really. Um, and dude, this guy was constantly trying to like chop her at the knees so much throughout our childhood, and somehow she still kept it pushing no matter what. Like she had a gear, man. That
Hold on, I want to just now what you've seen with your parents, and now that you're engaged to your fiance, has it affected you at all in your relationship, or has it made you turn away from that totally and just made you just want to love your partner as much as you can?
um I could say that being constantly burnt by almost everybody that's ever said I love you to me, or I've said I love you to. Well, okay, from a certain point in time back, it makes it hard for me to. Uh, it definitely. I would say I'm not finished struggling with it. I'm getting better by the day, and I like because I have such an amazing fiance. She's just amazing. Like because of her, I'm definitely getting better at it. But it's um it's hard, man. To It's hard. I don't know what it is. Maybe I was like taught to believe that I'm not worth um being truly loved. I don't know what it was, but I definitely um I don't know what it was, man, but I have trust issues, but it's not because of her. It's just because like
The stuff you have dealt with when you were growing up, and
yeah, because I've heard like the most genuine I love yous I've ever heard. I feel like besides the ones my kids tell me and the ones my mom and my sisters and my fiance tell me, like um
now what I want to add into here too though is like, have you ever guys ever had this conversation with each other? I know this is kind of personal, but
yeah,
like, do you guys
yeah, we're
talk
actually
about it?
I love her. She's Man, we could talk about anything all the time. And even if we have problems, it's a passionate discussion and it's never an argument. But I'm so grateful for our relationship as a whole and her. Like, I try my best all the time to show her and tell her. I think we do that to each other, which is cool because we've just made each other better people since we met, really. We've helped each other become better people, I should say, since we met. But I'd be lying if I said that she hasn't suffered sometimes from my trust issues and stuff from the past. Like I'm not crazy about it or anything. It's just like, dude, I think everybody's capable of everything. And after being burnt so many times, it's like yeah, you say I'm special, but so did everybody else.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can like, the thing I lean on the most is like this situation, and the feeling I get all the time is so much different than any other scenario I've been in that it makes it easier. It makes it easier to fight those feelings or whatever, because I'm constantly reminded in so many ways all the time why, and uh, you know, I've always preached to people like you gotta do the best you can, even in a relationship. And if you do the best you can, if it ends abruptly, at least you could say I tried my best, and you have no woulda, coulda, shouldas. Because that's the fire, that's the pain that really hurts. Is mostly is like the regrets. You know what I mean? And like I don't know, but it's hard to practice what you preach as far as that goes because like yeah, if if I'm doing the best I can and she leaves, well, then technically I should feel like it's her loss. But like, because I did everything I could and I just didn't fit. All right, or maybe it's not her loss. Maybe it's just like we just didn't work out, but we did the best we could. Like that's the best case scenario of the worst case scenario of things that could happen, I guess. But um, it's hard to like get comfortable with that. Like, yeah, I'm doing my best I can. Like, because I guess I always got put to the side for a better deal. It felt like when it came to my childhood friends, especially, uh, and then family and whoever else, relationships and stuff. It's like I don't know. You kind of get scared. Like, okay, so you like me and every like certain things about me, but what if a better deal comes along? It's just a little tweaked, a little bit better. I'm all the things you like, but just a little bit more.
Just always
But
having that insecurity feeling, always feeling
yeah, and I
just
think
because of what happened as a child and what you dealt with. And just having that, like it said, like rooted into you, where you just don't feel good. You just don't feel like you're worthy of the love,
yeah,
and you deal with it. And it, like,
yeah,
I can totally understand what you're saying.
yeah. It's rough, man. And like I feel like the better my life has been getting, the more grateful I've been, the more accepting I've become of a lot of things that I used to be insecure about, which is cool because then I get more comfortable, and then uh, I'm always trying to stay humble, so I feel like that brings more confidence too, because that's what I lost ultimately. You know what I mean? Just like I let a lot of people, hurt people, dictate how I should feel about myself, and it's really just because they were hurting, and not really, and it's just like trying to remember or not reinvent but rediscover more things that I like about myself as opposed to more things I hate about myself, because I'm not really going to get a lot of time here anyway. It's just like nobody else is, and I want to live more than I'm surviving, and I want to be happier to be here. I've spent so much of my life being sad, and I'm over that, man.
And
you
then just
know and
kind of falls back into when we was in our church session, just connecting to
yeah,
God, man, and just when you really get
yeah,
that relationship with Him, it's just like, wow,
yeah, the
why have
more
I
I
been feeling
understand.
this way all my life? And
Yeah, yeah,
he paints the picture for you of how you're really supposed to feel. And then that
yeah,
wall
it's
that
like
you had built up, man, just slowly starts to, and God
yeah,
started,
it's like
He's painting the real picture for you, showing you it clear.
yeah, it's weird searching for something your whole life, and when you really realize you're walking with it all the time, and you're part of it too. So
What I tell people all the time is we're too busy looking at our feet and complaining about the problems in our lives, and instead of having our chin up and looking at the blessings that are all around us.
Yeah.
And then that's where you really begin to appreciate just everything.
Yeah. Like, it's like if you're on the football field, like, instead of being pissed about the interception you just threw, how about you be happy about that you're actually there?
Yeah,
There's people watching, and there's people that care about teaching you, and that you have the equipment to use, and the field to play on, and the weather to play in, and the transportation that got you there, and the people that loved you, that built you to even be able to be there, and everybody you ran into on the way, and all the struggles you had in between that, all the
preach,
bumps and bruises you had,
preach,
and all the great things too, and all this triumphs you had too. Like, it's you know it
preach.
goes back to being grateful for the path. Like, when you turn around, it's okay to, you know if you're going to turn back and look at the whole path that you've just came across, it should only be for a second to look at how awesome it is that you got through all that, and all the cool stuff you saw along the way, and what a cool person you became since you first started on this
All right,
path to
feel
begin
it
with.
now. Feel it. Preach it.
You know? It's like, yeah,
There's that speaker I'm looking for. There he
I
is.
just, I tell people all the time, like be you can't love yourself and be confident and then be unhappy about your past. It's like, you can't be happy about the house you live in if you're gonna complain about who built it or how it was built. You're either happy about it or you're not. And, like, building a house is like building a person. It's expensive and frustrating, and sometimes the foundation slips and the pipes burst and the animals ruin stuff and the weather screws everything up and the parts don't show up on time, laborers are late or not showing up at all, you got to switch it's just an ugly process sometimes, and it hurts and it costs a lot, but there's still beauty in it too. But by the time the house is built and you're sitting in your living room comfortably, like, all of that stuff that made it was worth it, because you now are sitting, like, you're really happy with this place, and the place
Woo!
is you as a person. And if you're going to be happy about the place that you're living in, the minute you say I'm happy about it, that means you have to be happy about everything that built you,
Yeah.
even the abuse or the hurt people, plus all the cool things that happened and all the things you learned. Like, and I know I harp a lot about the bad things that happen, but, like, it's common knowledge that we should be grateful for the good things, but we forget to be grateful. Like, you know, like I also say too, like, life is like, it's like an RPG, man. Everything you do, you gain XP. Sometimes you meet people you have no reason, no idea why, and they might teach you some dumb skill you have no idea why you're gonna ever use it. And then later on in the story,
Bam.
you'll be glad that you learned it. You know what I mean? And you're constantly getting XP, learning new abilities all the time. And the bosses you face are just really big obstacles in life. And every time you beat the boss, as frustrating as it is sometimes, by the time you're at the end, you have a whole bunch of experience. You probably got some new gear, and you're a way stronger character, period. You know what I mean? And, like, your birthdays are just like chapter endings, and you kind of get to check back over the last 12 months on how much XP you've learned. And the goal, if you're playing an RPG, is to go to every little area and find everything you can so you can be the strongest, smartest, most prepared person. So every time you hit these bosses, it's way easier than it is if you're a low level, unequipped, don't really have a lot of weapons type dude. You know what I mean? And
Wait, is the roof still on your car, man? Because you're blowing it off right now.
what?
Is the roof still on your car? You're blowing it off, man. I lost my
Appreciate
shoes.
that,
My shoes are gone.
man. It's weird how similar it is, though. You know what I mean? Like we don't get to create our character but we do get to upgrade it, and we do get to personalize it. And it's really how cool of a character we want to be in the RPG is just dependent on how much grinding we want to do for real. You know?
Progress.
Yeah, And I don't know, man. That's just the way I see it.
Damn, that
That's
was
the
great,
way.
man. You were on fire. Is the roof still there? I gotta go find my shoes.
I appreciate you, man.
Man, that's just
Yeah,
beginning though. See that's you got that in you. You released that, man. I feel like I could go run a marathon now.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I just, like I remember when my son was born. It was like the first time I got a real good look at the world, and I got scared. Oh, I got so scared. And I got so sorry. Like I just felt so sorry for bringing such a like a an innocent, beautiful life into this world. And I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, but I felt like from that point when I had that realization, like I have to figure out how I gotta figure out how to help this place be better, man. Like I owe it to them.
Did you
Maybe
wait,
it's
wait,
my
wait, wait, wait,
dream
wait.
for a little guy.
Hold on. Did you say you don't know how it's gonna happen?
No,
Did I
uh, you know,
did I hear that come out of your mouth? You
I
know
don't
how
know.
it's gonna happen.
I don't know. I hope so, man. I hope
I don't
they
want to
look
hear
us
that. I don't
over.
know. I don't want to hear that come out of your mouth. You do know, man. Bring that speaker back out here. Where'd he go? Talking about I don't know.
I just, like I gotta try, man. I just want them to know that if anything, like on top of maybe some like important morals and lessons they learned, that I at the end of it all, I tried
No, what does
really
ET
hard.
always say? What does ET always say? What's his three words? I can, I must, and I will. I can,
Yeah,
I must, and I will. That's a good thing to
yeah.
live by, man.
I just don't know. You know what? When it comes to, I don't know what to do, to be honest. And this is probably the first time I ever felt comfortable talking this long on a camera. And like, it's only because, like, a big reason is because I'm talking to you. Because I tried to do like
You'll make me feel
solo
so
for real. I mean, you make me feel comfortable. Like, I feel comfortable. I've felt comfortable since we started talking, but it's like, I, I tried to sit in front of the camera, just talk. And I mean, you might have gotten an idea of the way I talk. I sometimes I don't know where to start. And I just, I'm all over the place. And then that'll make me insecure because it's like,
No.
I know I need to have some type of structure on where I should go.
When I
And if I did want to go, where am I going to go, or how do I start? You know,
when I seen you come on the camera, I see my brother.
likewise.
I see my brother. I was like, there you are. I was like,
Yeah,
I see a fire inside you that I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to get it going, get them flames to flow.
I
Get that speaker to come out of you. Get that spirit alive.
appreciate
Make
you,
you start
man.
jumping up,
I,
man.
I really appreciate. I don't know, man. I appreciate you just being um, exactly how you are, especially to someone like me and someone that you don't even know me, but um, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to just kind of throw up all over the place. 'Cause that's pretty much what I did. I'm no
Love
fan
it.
of.
Hey, I loved every second of it, man. That's the whole reason I do this, man, because I get to hear everybody's story and just be able to see the real side of you and get to know you. And like you said, I felt we don't know each other, but it does now, don't it?
Yeah, 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 for sure, man.
It
I feel
felt,
like we could
and there's
tie
probably
the phone
people,
up for a couple hours.
yeah, there's people probably watching right now that even think that like these guys know each other their whole lives. Like, no, that's not the case at all.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe like spiritually and somehow, but physically, this is the first time for sure.
You know,
You know.
spiritually right now, I'm high fiving you. I'm high fiving you, man.
No doubt. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is like I this is awesome, man. I was excited to do this all day, for real. I like, man, I just love everybody. I wish I wish everybody could just love themselves, or it just like your path is your path, and like if you're not gonna start being grateful about it, it's gonna suck and it's gonna keep sucking, and you already know it sucks.
My brother, man,
So
my brother. You gotta understand this. You gotta teach it. You gotta show it back to the world. We live in a world that doesn't know this anymore. We're so foreign to it anymore. Like I said when I was talking about it earlier, it's like just the small things, just the compliments, just the small blessings that we look past. We don't see that.
yeah,
You have to be that person that shows it. And the more you
yeah,
do it, man, you'll see it in your world. It sounds crazy because, like I said, it's foreign. But the more you do it, the more you show like gratitude and just positivity towards people, and just show the love.
yeah,
Just show that, spread that love. The love
yeah.
that's
It's
in
weird
here
that
and show it.
yeah. I mean, it's weird because I feel like I don't want no credit for it, you know what I mean, like that. But I feel like I've definitely have helped normalize saying I love you to like everybody I deal with. Like I've had my bosses say they love me. I've had customers say they love me. I've had my coworkers say they love me. I'm saying it back, obviously, to them too. Like my best friends, my family. Like it's a normal thing for me to say I love you to everybody. I do. So that's the thing. But it's cool when you see them comfortable enough to do that because some of my friends, man, they're just like hard asses and thought that that was weird. And then now sometimes they'll say it, and I'm like, I don't even point it out, but it's just so cool to have it's just so cool to see people constantly like not afraid to express it
No, and I think it's
without,
I think it's just more the fact that more. I mean, a lot of people will deny this, but I think a lot of people love hearing it. Just to hear that,
yeah,
just hearing that,
mm,
and just how it feels, just hearing that for somebody and feeling it in here, just hitting you. It's just like wow. I needed that. Especially some days you don't know. Some people going through it or just dealing with something,
uh,
and then you just randomly say that to them, like, "I love you,"
yeah,
and it goes
yeah.
a
You know
long
what's crazy is love is the only thing that you can take some of yours and give to someone else, and your amount grows, and so does theirs.
wow.
Like
Say that one more time, just in case somebody missed that.
love is the only thing that you can like take some of yours and give it to somebody else, and yours gets bigger, and so does theirs. It's never it never shrinks. Maybe I mean I don't know how to. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not that it never shrinks, but every time you give love, yours gets bigger, and so does somebody else's.
And that's the spirit.
Right?
Yeah, that's the spirit of gratitude. The more you show
Yeah.
appreciation to others and just appreciation to everything that's around you, that love inside you will grow to a point where it will spread out of you. and everybody
Yeah,
you come in contact will feel it.
yeah. It's like it's like being so grateful for being here right now and having the gift of being able to witness this and be part of this beautiful life and being grateful for everything that brought you here right now. Like, you just radiate love. It's not even work. It's it's more work for me to be mean to somebody, I feel like, than it is to tell them I love them. Really, you know what I mean? Like,
Nope, and really what it is though is you become more Christ-like.
right? Yeah, no
You
doubt.
wanna show that love, you wanna continue to show the love to the world, and everybody's gonna be like, "You're a hippie, Chris," and I'm like, "No, you want you
No,
wanna show the love to the
yeah.
world."
Hey, this is a weird idea, but this is something I thought about too. Speaking of Christ, he comes back in Revelations.
Yeah.
Okay, what if him coming back is not just him as one person, but everybody embodying the archetype?
Well, that's what they call the Holy Spirit inside of all of us. That's Christ's
Right.
spirit that's inside of us.
Yeah, like, what if we're not supposed to wait for one guy to come back and save us like Superman, though? What if we're supposed to all embody the personality? And that is like the resurrection.
Look at
Because
you,
it's
you're
going to be a
getting it,
really ugly.
you're getting it. You're getting the picture. You're seeing it.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is then, right? Like, we have to all learn how to be like that, because that's heaven on earth. If everybody is acting that, like
Christ
Christ.
Christ was the example for us to follow, and we're supposed to
Yes.
be like him. Everybody's like, "No way, it's impossible to be like him." No, he set perfect examples for us and how to easily do it, just to follow his steps, man. And that's what it's
Yeah,
all
but as a
about.
normal human being, it's hard to as a normal human being, it's hard to believe that you can emulate that man when the story is that his dad wasn't a human and he was doing magic tricks. That's the only thing that's hard to really relate to.
But okay, here we go with the church session again. Christ did it, and so did his disciples. His disciples, even Paul himself, did more than Christ ever did. And a lot of people,
What, magic?
oh yeah, Christ taught
Really?
us. Christ taught us how to do stuff like that, how to resurrect. If you get to that point in your faith that where you honestly, truly believe in here, it will come out there. And a lot of people are going to be saying I'm blasphemy for that, but it's the truth. He said it. Jesus preached it. We, just the mustard seed, man. We can move mountains. And he said that there's a lot of truth to that. It's all in here. That's why I said. That's why I keep trying to tell you the positive stuff that you speak into the world. Whatever you speak will come to existence. You're planting seeds, and everything
Mm-hmm.
that Christ, like you, go through like the whole New Testament and read and really dig deep into what Christ was talking about. We can do more.
Yeah.
We can be more like Christ and possibly do more. And I'm not saying I'm any
Yeah.
higher than I'm not saying I'm higher than Christ or anything. I'm just saying that he preached that. He told us that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But if you're gonna stand on the shoulders of somebody, you
Hmm?
you're kind of gonna be more, right? Like, the goal is to stand on essentially, like, by taking all of his experiences and then adding them to yours, you're basically standing on his shoulders. So what you're saying is not so much that you're above who he is, but you are, if you take everything that he said in, you have his experience plus yours.
Yeah. And the
Right. That makes sense.
disciples showed it and everything they dealt with, everything they did, they just followed what the teacher taught them. And you see,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you read the Acts of the Apostles, Romans, the Philippines, I mean Philippians, and you read all that stuff, even what Paul did. Yeah, everybody went through a hard time. Everybody dealt with the same thing that Christ dealt with. He was rejected. But why? Because he spoke the truth. He spoke positive stuff into the world. He did positive things. And that's why I always try to tell people we live in a negative world. We're surrounded by it. But if we follow what Christ taught us to do and showed us what to do, life doesn't get any better
Yeah,
than that.
yeah. The one I think, like, I mean, at least for a guy like me, the hardest thing to like even want to like learn about Jesus was ultimately first the magic tricks, but like at the same time, everybody was probably a lot more connected to the planet back then. So things probably that were possible then aren't so much possible now because we're so disconnected. But that and man, I lost my train of thought. Like it was the magic tricks and
Actually, believe it or not, I'll add this in there too. In your life, as we speak, you including mine, we have already performed magic tricks. You just don't realize it. Mic drop.
yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that. No doubt.
Man, we've been on here for about almost 2.5 hours.
I know, dude. I love this, man. I like seriously. I just even appreciate the conversation to be able to, I just like don't have a lot of people to talk to like this. You know what I mean? My my fiance is definitely she's so damn smart, man. We could talk about stuff like this all day. We're actually thinking about starting a podcast of our own for real. Um, we just got to look into equipment and how you go about that. But um, like I said, it's deep, man. Not everybody wants to swim that deep, you know.
About it, man. I'm all about it. At least now you know.
Yeah, yeah, no
I'm
doubt.
all about it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
talking about it. I love getting into the roots. Like, let's go. Let's talk about it. Let's dig into this.
yeah.
Let's
I
talk
mean,
about
because
it.
we're ultimately like trying to get an understanding of each other, but like we're all trying to figure this thing out, man. You know, like in that aspect, we really are all on the same team.
We
You
are.
know, if we're seeds to the same tree, like which I really believe we are, man. Like I don't
We are.
like not working. I don't understand why we're not working together. Like why we're not giving the person, even the person that we don't agree with, why are we not giving them the enemy or the energy like they're on the same team as us? Like I get it, man. Life's hard and hurt people have hurt us, but like like I'm always saying to people, happy people help and hurt people hurt. You'll never find a self-loving, confident, God-loving person that'll hit you below the belt. You'll only always find an insecurity in somebody. Like I've never in my life met confident people just want to build. That's it, all the time. They can't wait to share something that's going to build you up more. Like only hurt people, and there's so many levels to that. And but that's always, it's always true, and if they're hurt, that means that something's going on with them that's bothering them. And if they hurt you, most of the time they're just projecting that. Sometimes, like, sometimes they're asking for help, but they don't know how to tell you they need help because they don't even need it. Just like when you see like a lot of criminals, what's the common story? They didn't have a dad around. Dad usually is like the correction when you mess up, among other things, but that's a very important reason why dad's around is to be the rod, to stop you when you're screwing up and to reward you when you're doing right so we can navigate you on the right path. If you don't have that, it's like growing a plant and not putting support like sticks to hold it straight up. It just begs for correction. And it's like, if you're a child that goes unchecked, from a father type of figure at any, in any way for a real long time, you drive your mom nuts and you're asking for correction and you went so long without being checked that the correction you're asking for usually is way more harsh than it should be, and that would be like going to jail, dude. As an adult, you're basically asking you've been asking for father type correction for so long and never got it. You finally get it at the worst it can be. And it's really, you know, I feel like that's why I have a hard time calling anybody evil, man. I think that's such a dismissive term. It's like I don't care to find out why you're screwed up. I'm just gonna lump you in the category with screwed up people. It's like going to the judgment without reviewing all the evidence. It's such a waste. Because how many times do we watch movies about like criminals and then you find out throughout their childhood they got screwed up and you're just kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, I see why that. You don't feel like that person's evil anymore. You might feel like the things they did were evil, but like you start to wonder, like, I don't know, would I be the same if I was raised the same way? I think, like I said, I think we're all created in the beginning as a really bright light. And if you're gonna believe that everybody starts off that way, you can't call them evil. They have to obviously be just hurt somehow.
And
I feel like
that's the whole beautiful thing of this podcast is people just telling their story, just telling it from the very beginning until now, and then just learning that, and not only that, just people telling their stories and letting others hear their story, help them, encourage
yeah,
them, help them, inspire them, help them, move them in a
yeah,
way, help them learn so they don't make the same mistakes. So that's what this podcast is all about, man. That's what it's all about.
yeah. It's pretty sweet, man. I appreciate the opportunity to, I don't know how much. I know I was all over the place, but I appreciate it. It's cool to have I've always just wanted the ability to talk to more than just the person sitting at my desk. And, you provided me with the first opportunity at more than that,
And guess
so
what,
it's
my
pretty
brother?
cool.
Guess what? I'm always here.
So,
I'm always here.
yeah. Likewise, dude. I really, I would love to talk more, man. Seriously.
I'm never going nowhere. Just stay connected to me.
I got you.
God
For
brought us
sure.
together for a reason.
Yeah, I believe that for sure. Like, it's so weird just how, you ended up even being connected to my fiance. And then, like, she hits me up, like, oh my God, this guy's doing a podcast and blah, blah, blah. Like, you can learn a lot of things. It's an opportunity. Like, it was cool, man. And then you hit me up.
Hold on,
It's
hold on.
just weird,
If she's watching right now, I still want your story too. I still want your
Yeah,
story too.
her story is pretty cool, man. She is seriously an angel. She's so smart and understanding, and she's honest and caring and funny. She's got an amazing sense of humor. Like, I can't thank her enough for the things that she's done for me and my kids. I mean, you know, it's a big responsibility that I never was gonna do. Never date anybody with kids, especially because I got my own. So God bless her. God bless her for dealing with me because I'm a lot. You know, I know I am, but a lot more with her for sure. And she's thank God I went through what I went through before I met her. Thank God I lost so much and I got so hurt, you know, um, because I really, really try my best every day to appreciate everything. That's one thing my boss always says is that I'm probably the most grateful person he's ever met because I'm thankful. He was like, dude, I could probably give you I could probably shit on a plate and hand it to you. He'd be like, thanks, dude. Because I'm just, and she has been such a huge part of that. I think we both have been for each other, really. And I'm so thankful that it worked out the way it did. Because I tell you what, if she would have shown up a half hour earlier on my dealership, there's a chance I might not have been able to catch her.
Wow. And just think about,
You know?
hold on, think about that for a minute. Just how incredible that is. Truly.
Yeah.
Like really,
It makes me uncomfortable when I think about it
like think about
because
that.
I
Like
could have missed her.
you would have missed her, but God's timing is
Yeah.
always perfect.
Yeah, and check it. She was sold on another car at another dealership, but her mom forced her to get a second opinion. And
Look,
then they showed up a half
but
hour before we closed.
look at that though. God
Yeah.
was there working.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was cool because we both came from uh real broken relationships. She definitely had some amazing parents, man. But like we were able to relate with that. But like, there's even when we talk about God and philosophy and stuff like that, like it's so cool because it's like we could both we'll take a walk and then we'll find like a gem in the sand. And I'm walking around one way and I'm like, this is so cool because of this, that, and that. She's like, yeah. And she's doing the same thing on the other side, finding other cool stuff. And it's like, hey, check out what I found. This is the way I'm looking at it. Yeah, but check out the way I'm looking at it too. Like, this is so cool. Like, and every time we are on any type of subject, it's so awesome to have somebody like that I could talk to like that any day of the week. And not only does she let me know she's there with me, but she adds so much to it too. It's cool. I'm not just this, blabbermouth talking for 2 hours straight, like, because she'll say some, even when like we read the Bible together and we'll pick a section and we'll read it out loud and we'll do it like pretty much like chunk by chunk, and we don't move forward until we've kind of understood exactly what was going on there. And we do that all the time. And like there's times where I'll look at something like that's definitely what that's got to mean, and then she'll say something, I'm like, oh, you know what, that sounds, yeah, that makes more sense. Like, and it's just like those moments when you're like, dude, I love you. You're the best.
You know what, my
It's
brother?
just we are.
We got to wrap it up and get back to her.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, yeah, for sure. He's waiting for me.
I just want to say, as I wrap this thing up, I just want to say thank you for coming on and telling your story. It's been an incredible, almost 3 hours close. Don't even feel like it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I appreciate you too, man. This has been fun, and um, it's just one more thing to be grateful for in this, especially in these last couple of years. That this is another time where I went into something expecting the best, and being like my expectations being exceeded every time. You know what I mean? It's cool. This was more than I thought it would be, and I already had high hopes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You know what else is great about this too?
Mm,
Is it's only just the beginning.
no doubt. No doubt.
But on those words, anybody that's watching, listening right now, if you'd like to come on and tell your story sometime, feel free to hit me up, message me. If they want to
Yes.
get in contact with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Um, You could find me on Facebook. My name's Denny T.J. Wareh. I don't know if you want me to spell that. My last name's spelled W-A-R-E-H. It's on Instagram. My name is Cheesehead. It's CheeeeeZhead. That's about it. Or you can hit me up on Denny Wareh at outlook.com. I don't know if you put that stuff in the bio, but I could send all that to you so it's written
Yeah,
if you want.
it'll make it easier for him.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, this is Chris. I just
All
want
right.
to say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.